The gang is back with Real Talk 101. Today's live topic show is...
It is legalizing firearms to 18 to 21-year-olds. What's up, everybody? I'm Julian, stay back.
I'm Allison Flanagan.
And I'm Tadarian Rogers.
And this is Real Talk 101. We're here back in Wells Hall, home of all the math classes here at this university. So go green.
Go white.
That's the spirit. So we have a couple of announcements before we start today's show. We have an upcoming football game in Tailgate. So the football game is this Saturday. I think the first kickoff is at 12. So get those tickets and get those student tickets too if you want to go. Another day at MSU, remember, it's every Saturday now instead of every Friday. It's every Saturday. So this is usually the first time we do this on Real Talk 101 is breaking news. And our first trending breaking news, 3 cases of the mumps at University of Michigan has been confirmed. Yikes. So be sure to get all your immunization shots, and I mean all of them, especially for mumps rebellion, because that's trending. Any thoughts on this?
Maybe avoid Michigan students.
Yeah, maybe avoid getting in contact with an infected person. Especially with the game coming up this Saturday between U of M and Michigan State. So for those who attend Michigan State, please take caution. We don't want the mumps getting in here, okay? So as usual, wash your hands before you have to use the bathroom, keep hand sanitizer, and cover your mouth if you cough and all that other stuff.
Don't share drinks.
Plus, and watch your drinks and all that. So for those of you at University of Michigan, oh boy, I feel sorry for them. Honestly, I really do.
They picked their poison, right?
Yeah, right. So for all of you, that goes for all of you, just stay cautious of the mumps. The second breaking news, Canada has legalized marijuana as of yesterday. So according to CNN, of course, the legal age for the use of recreational marijuana is 18 in only Quebec and Alberta. However, in all the other states in Canada, the legal age is 19. So for those of you who are 18, want to go to Canada, make sure you go to Quebec or Alberta if you want to.
And if I can intervene, so it's really good because for those of you who thought you could go to California and smoke weed, it's still illegal to smoke weed in California under the age of 21.
It is. Perfect. So, but with that, you cannot smuggle it back to the U.S. So if you go to Canada and you want to bring some home, think again. You can face criminal charges for smuggling in and out of the country. So that's pretty much covering Canada legalized marijuana. So what are your thoughts on it? You can leave them in the comments below. I think it's sort of good, I guess.
It's happening anyway, and if it's gonna happen, you might as well legalize it so you can restrict and put laws on it and kind of control it.
Plus, for those of you who say you only live once, that's your chance to cross it off your bucket list if that's on there. So
they're right next door.
Yes. Just be sure to have a passport to go to Canada. So those are our 2 top breaking news. You can follow the mumps at U of M on CNN, and of course your is on Lansing's State Journal already, so you can follow that news story as it develops. And you can also follow the legalization of marijuana in Canada. You can follow that on CNN and HLR because those are trending. So we're going to move onward with our debate topic for today. And the question is, should 18 to 21-year-olds, or I call it adolescents, should they have access to firearms? And for those of you who don't know what a firearm is, it does in simplest terms is a gun. So what brought this up?
So far right now, as of 2018, 4 states has passed laws that will start in 2019 that will ban the firearm ownership and the selling too from FFLs of firearms to 18 to 21-year-olds. It's really interesting because at 18, you're an adult, right?
Yeah.
You can rack up hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Yes.
You can sign contracts.
Yeah.
If you commit a crime, you're charged as an adult. You pay a lot of taxes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But when it comes to your constitutional rights, you're not an adult. So how is that fair?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It really is. So, really discussing the pros and cons of having versus not having one. Well, I guess the pro for me would be our youth will be protected. However, if it's in the wrong hands, it could be deadly and murderous.
See, I kind of wonder if this is just a band-aid, because there's been a lot of flack for kind of how loose our country has been on guns, and if you're gonna have a gun in the house, your kid's still gonna be able to get to it. You know, I just feel like I don't really know how effective restricting a couple more years on gun ownership is really gonna be.
Yeah. What really struck me about these laws, though, if we look back at all the mass shootings in this country, starting from Columbine,
Yeah.
right? There are only two instances where those teenagers actually bought those firearms: Columbine and Parkland, right? Every other mass shooting, as you just said, the kids had access to their parents' gun. Sandy Hook,
Yeah.
first of all, he was a grown man, but he had access to,
But yeah,
to his
access
mother's
to it, yeah.
firearm, right? And his mother had I've never seen, that type of arsenal from a single mom, but I guess they do exist. So, I don't think restricting, like you said, that's just a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It's a fake solution to a real problem.
It's like, oh, we're doing something about it. Let's go,
Well, yeah. I only think if a teen is going to have a firearm, it should only be used in self-defense. Like, so say for example, let's see, if you get robbed on the street, you might want to have a firearm on you, or if you find yourself in a dangerous neighborhood, you might want to have a firearm in case something bad happens. Because most cases, like I see Detroit, like a lot of teens use guns nowadays. I see around my neighborhood, for mostly, because I am from Detroit, I see a lot of teens with guns, and I just ask them, do they really need them? Because they talk about violence, they talk about, I'm going to shoot up gangs, it is mostly in gang-related activities.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's really where the question comes from, is like, are they going to use it for gang activity, or are they going to use it for their self-defense? That's where the question comes in for me.
But ask this question: those gangs, where they get their firearms? They don't go into the store.
They don't. Of course, they won't go into the store, but they might have other people go into the store for them and actually get the firearm for
The
them.
interesting things is the weapons that are doing the damage, I don't think are, generally speaking, the weapons that are bought legally.
Yes.
Right, and furthermore, if you actually look at demographics, for some reasons politicians go after rifles when they only account for 2% of all shootings in America. Those are mass shootings, and overall there are less than 300 instances where a long gun is used to kill somebody.
Yeah.
That's self-defense, breaking and entering. Like, nobody goes up the street to do a shootout with a long gun.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking a hunting rifle to go do a shootout, but they're using handguns, right? And like, you might ask, like, well, why don't politicians try to do something about handguns? And the answer to that is that they can't, right? DC versus Heller made ensure that everyone has the right to own a handgun. So now they want to go after rifles, which with the Republican Congress, Senate, which could change, but a Republican majority on the Supreme Court is going to ensure that the rifles are here to stay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting how gun control plays out.
Well, and rifles, I think, this might sound odd, but I think culturally they're a big part of especially rural America. Like, I come from a long line of hunters, so I know a lot of people that own rifles, and a lot of times people who face poverty in rural areas depend on hunting for food. It's a real thing still. So I don't know. I have an issue with trying to restrict hunting rifles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I heard, you guys know Dianne Feinstein?
Yeah.
She led the assault weapons ban of 94. Bill Clinton just signed it. She came out the other day and she said, I believe that you have the right to own a gun for hunting reasons. And then she turned around in front of a crowd that supported PETA. You know what PETA is, right?
Yeah.
And she said that no one has the right to hunt, right? So essentially she was saying that you have the right to own a firearm, but you don't have the right to hunt. So what's the point of having a firearm if you don't have the right to hunt?
Yeah, that's really odd.
Right. Yeah. Well, what about what's the amendment for the right to bear arms though? When does that come into play when it regards to this question?
Well, a lot of people argue, well, it depends on who you ask. Liberals will tell you that it's to hunt. Conservatives will tell you it's to protect themselves against intruders and tyrannical government. And then those in between will tell you that they honestly don't know.
Well, it is a hard thing to kind of come up with an opinion on it all, you know.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
complicated.
So,
But what would be like, what gets me is like, teens are only want to have interest in guns if they either see someone using them, like 9 times out of 10, that's either in music videos, because trust me, there are a lot of music videos that promotes the use of guns, and it's mostly in teenagers that I actually see on YouTube every day. There is a gun everywhere, so I'm like, okay, maybe they shouldn't have access to them because of that reason, because they're talking about killing people. And the teens of today, they're really influenced by what they see on TV and in the movies, and what they hear in music, and what they see other people doing.
right, but there's this really small chance that those kids are actually going to go out and buy guns. Because when you go into a gun store, you know, you see all these guns, and then, you know, what turned me around the first time was when I asked, well, how much is this one? And he said it was $1,200.
Yeah, guns are expensive.
They're very fucking
They're hard to
expensive.
get.
You know, so like I think that kind of turns a lot of people around because those kids, they can't afford them, right? They just can't do it. They're really expensive.
Yeah, they're really expensive. As long as they got someone who could buy it for them, that's the only way they're gonna have it.
I mean,
Yeah, street guns are even more expensive.
Yeah.
that's true.
So all in all, the question here is for those of you who are gonna watch this video. The question is, should they or should they not have access to firearms? And this is the age range between 18 to 21. If you want to find out more research, just go Google it, go look in the news and the latest news about teens and gun violence, because it's really a trending topic that has gone on. It's not a rising issue. It's actually been an issue for many years to come. So the only question is up to you to decide, should they have access to guns anyway.
And when we say access, we mean like purchasing power, right? Because like I
Purchasing,
had
yeah.
access to a gun when I was a kid, you know.
I'm pretty sure we all have
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form access.
Yeah, it's not just access; it's the ability to buy a gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can follow them. You can learn more about this debate. You can learn more about it on the news and other news outlets. So that kind of brings it into the debate topic. That was actually a pretty good one, honestly. I kind of liked that one. So next what we're gonna do is go to our educational topic, and that is, what water are you drinking? That's our question. Explain more on what that is.
Well, you know, we don't necessarily know what's in our water,
Yeah.
right? A lot of people don't know that you're actually drinking fluoride, you know, when you drink water. You know, you don't know how the water is treated. You know, and Flint taught us a lot about really needing a transparent government. Because a lot of people in Flint didn't know.
They didn't know about this
Well,
water
they were
crisis.
lied to.
They were lied to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They were lied to big time. But they didn't know that they didn't even know that their water had been changed, their water system had been changed. Right? A lot of people, you know, you probably can't tell me the last time anybody in your household actually checked the inside of the pipes,
Oh, no,
the
yeah.
rust and
Yeah.
galvanization. You know, we don't know what we're drinking.
Right.
It's like the food, we don't know what we're eating either.
Yeah. So, in case those of you who don't know what the Flint situation is this big water crisis that I think is still happening today. It's still pretty current. Yeah, it's still pretty current. Apparently there was some kind of screw up in the way it was sanitized and cleaned, and instead
Well,
there was
they switched water sources.
yeah, that's what happened. They switched water sources and they got lead poisoning, and there's lead poisoning in the water. And the whole pipes and everything. And there's a lot of government controversy because a lot of politicians did not know about this issue. And a lot of politicians got putting the blame on everybody else and criminal charges and this, that, and the other. So that's what the water crisis is and what it always has been. So that's why it's always important to check what your water is, like checking your pipes or checking the actual water color to see like what it is, because trust me, it's a lot.
But more importantly, I think it's a bigger issue is with reading proposals. Everything is in a proposal, but if you don't take the time to go through it, it may be long, but I think that it's worth it.
Yeah, like you'll never know what you're saying yes or no to until you actually read it. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong with voting. They don't actually read the fine print. They just say, oh, we're just gonna vote for this, it sounds interesting. They don't actually read it. That's really easy. But we want to make sure that our water isn't polluted either, because you don't want lead poisoning. You really don't want that.
Yeah, that stays in your system forever.
It stays in there. Even though, it stays in there forever. So you want to watch what water you're drinking. So every now and then check your pipes. Every now and then check the water color and see if there's any like discoloration of it. If there is discoloration, you should stop using and contact your local water board. If there's any galvanization in your pipes, you want to replace them. And if there's any erosion in your pipes, you also want to replace them or call an irrigation person to check all of your pipes, because it can be in one area of your house and not know it for a long time. Like for me, the rust came from my bathtub, and we did not know about this until like 3 weeks until we checked the pipes up under in the basement, and there was so much rust and galvanization in them. So we went without a bathtub for like weeks until we had to get new pipes. That was horrible.
And the hard part about that is even if you're not drinking right from your tap, if you're drinking bottled water, even that's not always clean. There's been a lot of stats about microplastics in bottled water, and if you don't know what those are, you should look them up because they're real bad.
Yes. And a lot of bottled water either contains a lot of chemicals. Like for example, the recent bottled water that I saw, that I actually read the ingredients, a lot of had potassium chloride and a lot of like minerals that really are involved in other stuff that really does not have nothing to do with our water system at all. And that is our educational topic for today. If you want more about the Flint water crisis, it's still pretty current. Just search Flint water crisis in your Google search bar. So we're gonna get into our post-show announcements. So I'll be covering my little events because we do have a dodgeball tournament coming up, because I am part of the dodgeball team. So we do have that coming up on November 3rd, and I'll be covering that. It might be at a different school, so I'll get more details about that. But for right now, the location is to be determined. I'm hoping it's a home tournament. That way I can just like cover it right from my school. But if it's at a different place, I'll make the accommodations when necessary. So I'll be covering that event. Reminder, there is the election. It is coming up, so remember to either vote blue or vote red in November. So be sure to vote. Your vote really does matter, and we said this in the last video, and we're saying it now. Your vote matters, especially for those of you who just turned 18. You have the legal right to vote now. Your vote will actually make a difference. And be sure to read everything. Proposals, what people stand for, what you stand for. Just don't vote for anybody in general without knowing your information.
Educate yourself. Don't just vote who your friends are voting for, who your parents are voting for.
And
Make your own opinions.
you base it off your own decision and your own actions. So remember to either vote red or vote blue. So that's pretty much our show. Another day at MSU will be featured tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but it's a force Friday, by the way. It won't be tomorrow, but it will be every Saturday. We are looking for episode title creators. So if you have a creative episode title that you would like to name the next episode, it's off of what we do. I will post a post on your Time 101's Facebook page, and you just comment a low list of episode titles that you ready. I already did so many. An exclusive video of Another Day at MSU. For those of you who aren't on Facebook, we released our live video based off of our synopsis, our Q&A. We did the backgrounds. So I will post that also this Saturday. It'll be an hour after the actual show. So I'll post it in a different video. You'll learn more about the cast, learn more about our labels. So you may have seen like the brains, the leader, the second in command, the playful supporter. We'll go over those. We'll be going over where we come from, where our backgrounds, family issues, anything like that sort of nature. We'll also be going over frequently asked questions, any questions that you might have asked on either our Instagram or our Facebook pages. So that is what's to be coming up this Saturday. Other than that, for those of you who go to Michigan State, let's bring home a win for the football game. And for those of you who are going out to tailgating, the weather is going to be real nice. I haven't really had cold. It's going to be real nice but real cold. Like it's supposed to be like a 10% chance.
That's not nice. That's rain.
Well, it's a low chance though.
Okay.
It says showers, but usually it's a low chance. So around 25 to 30% chance of rain. So if it does rain, take your umbrella and go buy an umbrella, wear your ponchos. And especially for those people who are still getting outside, beware that it's going to rain.
Say, don't drink after U of M students.
Yes, I will be on the inside in a tailgate. I'll be tailgating on the inside, so supposed to be at 50 degrees for a high on Saturday. So be warned, don't get sick, and beware of the mumps. Hashtag. That should be a hashtag. Beware of the mumps with. Yeah, so that's our show. We wish you peace, love, and happiness. And we will be seeing you guys Thursday after next. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And this concludes Real Talk 101 with Julian. Tune in next time for the next debate topic, which has been known by the man Juju himself. See you next time on Real Talk 101.